Dricus Plessis and Israel Adesanya have one of the biggest beefs currently in the UFC. And well, they're finally going to be squaring off against each other this Saturday at UFC 305. And to give you guys my predictions on this fight, I think Israel Adesanya will win this fight. I'll explain how at the end of the video. Israel Adesanya, yes, he has not been fighting for almost a year. His last fight was September of last year against Sean Strickland, where Sean Strickland, for pretty much almost round through five, won against Izzy. I think Izzy snuck in one round after rewatch the fight. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yes, Strickland won that fight very convincingly. Um, some may say, why are you confident with Israel Adesanya being the winner of this fight? To me, from a lot of his past fights, I feel like Israel Adesanya does the best when he counter strikes in his control and when the opponent is kind of on their front foot a lot more. To give an example of a fighter who was on their front foot and Israel Adesanya won against, Paulo Costa. Back, during COVID 2020, Paulo Costa, um, he was an example of someone who's a striker, and he was on his front foot a lot against Izzy. And what Izzy did, being a counter striker, he made sure to attack the legs and eventually get a knockout or a TKO. Um, and I feel like that should be his game plan, especially with a kind of like a blitzer fighter with Dricus Plessis. Um, and I feel like the leg kicks is going to be a big factor for Israel Adesanya in this fight this Saturday. Another thing too is another fight I should say was Robert Whitaker the first time. Robert Whitaker, again, he was kind of on his front foot. But Israel Adesanya do at the end of the first round, he knocked him down, and then eventually got a knockout against Robert Whitaker because he kept blitzing forward, kept being on his front foot, and I just feel like if we look at Dricus' fights, he's kind of on his front foot quite a bit, and so if Israel Adesanya, since he's been out for the longest, I feel like in his whole UFC tenure, a year, gives himself time to himself to kind of, I want to say, regroup. And with that in mind, of since this is his longest break, kind of getting back into the ring, I feel like that might be that is a positive thing for himself because he's at least fought from when I before his Sean Strickland loss, he fought like twice a year. He was a very active UFC fighter. So yeah, obviously, I think a year could. I think being out for almost a year, um, with him being the longest break he's had in his UFC, journey, this could be a positive. This could be a positive for this fight. While Dricus has been taking quite a bit of fights, outside of the, well, until when he took Whitaker, he got hurt, so he only fought, I believe, like once that year, if I'm not mistaken, and then obviously fought for the title in the beginning of the year. So yeah, I'm gonna say for just basically explaining how I think Israel Adesanya will win this fight. I think the prediction though will be an Israel Adesanya unanimous decision win. I don't think he'll knock out Dricus, but I think he'll chop at the legs. Dricus is a tough fighter, so he'll keep himself up, which will lead to a unanimous decision win going to Israel Adesanya. Comment down below what you guys think, and to make sure to subscribe to this channel. I want to say thank you guys so much for hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark. It really means a lot to me. The next goal trying to hit is 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, it's gonna be a long journey, but listen, if you guys like my take, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.